So yeah, baby, let's get it, man. Super Mario Bros. Movie. Me and Brayden went and watched this movie on Friday at Universal City Walk. That's our theater here in Orlando, and
baby.
we did that instant reaction walking out of the theater for the first time, and people actually really liked that. So we're gonna start doing that a lot more.
Yeah.
But now it's time to dive into it, baby. Dive into the
We are
goodies.
getting into it.
Let's get it, baby.
We are going now.
Let's hear that synopsis, my boy.
Alrighty. Boom, boom, boom. With help from Princess Peach, Mario gets ready to square off against the all-powerful Bowser to stop his plans from conquering the world.
That's it.
That's it. That is it.
Yo.
All right. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. Bro, that was... So,
It's 2 sentences.
dude, literally, bro, if you guys have been listening to the podcast for a while now, dude, every single one of these synopsises have been awesome. Like, it's been like these crazy, like, climactic, like, paragraphs. You know what I mean? That was just like a...
Don't even mention
That was a
Luigi in it.
sentence.
That's like, you know what I mean?
Bro, that's what I'm saying, dog. My boy Luigi got kidnapped, bro. Yeah, or
Whatever.
even Donkey.
We are here. We are here.
Yeah, we are here, baby. So here we go, man. We're gonna dive. Well, I guess we'll do our little kind of 30-second, summary on it, dude. I'll go first. This is a movie that I've been looking forward to ever since they announced it. I've been looking forward to this movie for a long time. I grew up with the Mario games. I've played almost every single Mario game out there, and this movie was basically just this nostalgia crack, you know what I mean? That's what it was. It was awesome, dude. I had a great time with it. I mean, me and Brayden were having such a good time. We got to the theater about 20 minutes late, 15 minutes late because of traffic on I-4. Screw you, I-4 and Turnpike.
I hate I-4.
Yeah, Turnpike was really what it was hitting us,
Florida.
but yeah, dude, the traffic here is terrible. If you're from Orlando or been to Orlando, you know what I'm talking about. So we didn't get to see the beginning of it. When Mario and Luigi are the plumbers and then they get into the worlds. We literally first got in when it was Mario meeting Princess Peach. But other than that, we watched the rest of it, and man, it was just this awesome time. I got to watch it again on Saturday with my little brother, and so I kind of have some of those different opinions than what I did the first time. But I had a great time watching it, man. There's really no cons with it. It's just one hell of a time.
Heck yeah, man. I'm pretty much just going to agree with that mostly. Like, as a kid, you've always wanted a Mario movie growing up. And then when I saw Illumination was coming out with it, I was hyped. And at first, a lot of people were concerned with the Chris Pratt voice. But I think truly that you don't even notice it throughout the movie. I feel like he did a fantastic job. I think the cast themselves did a fantastic job of bringing all these characters to life. Yeah, it's a really fun Mario movie. It's great to go watch with friends, family, on a date, whatever you're doing. It's a movie that a lot of people have wanted for a very long time, and I definitely think it serves. I think it serves for what people were looking for. So.
Oh, 100%. No, that's beautifully said, dude. And because Nintendo was so scared to make another movie after the Super Mario Bros. Movie in the 80s or whatever, they're like, we don't want to touch this again. And I'm so glad that they did, man.
One of the actors from it was like, I watched
John Leguizamo, right?
Yeah, I think it was him, and he was like, that movie is like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
I mean Seth Rogen too. I think it was like the two of them or something like that.
No, Seth Rogen just talked about his voice acting because people were saying that that he needed to do a better Donkey Kong voice, which I do agree. I think we'll get into the cons. We'll get to that in a little bit. But but he was like, I'm not a voice actor. He's like, I'm gonna do my voice. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna do what Jack Black did or Keegan-Michael Key. I'm just gonna be Seth Rogen, do my, you know what I mean, his laugh, and I get that, but at the same time, like, it's Donkey Kong, you got to do something, But
yeah,
it is what it is. That's his opinion on that. But yeah, John Leguizamo was getting mad. He called it, and I think he's just mad that I love John Leguizamo as an actor. I think he's one of the best actors we've ever seen, one of the best bad guy actors we've ever seen. But I've never understood. I never understood his point on that. I think he's just a little bit jealous that this Mario movie's a little bit better than his.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's where it's kind of coming from. But overall, though, yeah, I'm with you on there, man. We can kind of start diving into the cons, I think, first, because I don't know. I don't even know if you have any. I have a couple I kind of want to get to. These are more like nitpicks, though. Like, overall, this movie is beautiful. It's executed perfectly. There's a few of these kind of bother me a little bit. So like I said, I went back and watched the movie a second time because me and Brayden got a little late to the screening. the first time we watched it, and I got to see the whole backstory thing. The backstory was very Illumination. You know what I mean? Kind of like, it reminded me a lot. I don't know. It was very like Minions type of vibe. Almost like a DreamWorks vibe as well. And I didn't really like that in the beginning. You know, they're like Mario and Luigi are literally plumbers. You know what I mean? And they're fixing this house, and the dog attacks them, and I wasn't really too into that. I didn't really care for the backstory at all involving the dad and all that. By the way, he was played by the original Mario actor, which is pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
So cool. He did the woohoo, and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really care for any of that. That's the first 20, not 20, let's say first like 10, 15 minutes are literally the worst part of the movie. So I don't really feel bad that we missed it. So yeah, that's probably one of my biggest cons is just the first part, because it was so different from the rest of the movie. Like, once this movie gets going, it gets going. And me and Brayden looked at each other and we're like, bro, I understand why this movie is like an hour and 20 minutes, because it's just so fast paced. You're going from one thing to the next to the next. And but I like that a lot. I just wish they would have kind of dove into that a little bit more. You know, but that backstory part, didn't really care for it at all. And that kind of goes to my next con, which is it should have been longer. I guess, yeah, I'll let you dive into it a little bit too, expand on it. But, you know, they left you wanting more, which I think is what they wanted to do, because they want to make a whole universe out of this, which we'll get to in a little bit. But overall, I was just kind of sitting there like, all right, I want more of it. We could have done another 20, 30 minutes of them maybe, you know, diving more into Yoshi's Island or diving more into, you know, Bowser's Castle, stuff like that. But they just didn't do it.
Yeah, no, when we were watching, it's just like, and obviously these are all spoilers when we talk about these reviews, but they once they introduced like the Mario Kart idea, even like when we got into the theater, we were like, what about Mario Party or Yoshi's Island, like you were saying? And it's like we got to see Yoshi's running across the river, and then the egg
for
of
2
Yoshi.
seconds.
Yeah. It would have been nice to actually have like a scene with Yoshi. Like, maybe he doesn't even say anything. You just see him in the background, like Mario sees him. Kind of like how Peach and Mario did at the beginning. You know what I mean? And then like, what the heck? And then he runs away. But I think that they could have taken an extra 30 minutes and really just delved out and gave it guts a little bit more to everything, because they do have this expectation that there is going to be more and creating a bigger universe, which sucks. It's a good and bad thing, because like at one point you're like, yes, we're getting so much more. I can't wait to see it. But then it's like in the moment you kind of feel like you didn't get cheated, but it's just like you blue balled me just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's a pro and a con, but I definitely look at it as a little bit more negative, because you could have given us 20 more minutes of something, even that was already present in the movie. You know what I mean? Or, you know, a little bit more backstory with like the penguins, or, you know, I know that you see the scene, but like a little bit more with it.
That was so quick. Like, dude, they literally just got captured in like 2 seconds. I'm not even joking. Like, I like they made it. That was a big part of the trailer. Like, remember that he steps off and the penguins show up. Like, I expected there to be like a crazy battle, but they get captured in like 3 seconds, and Bowser, like, you know, does the dragon thing and, you know, heats up the entire cat. I was like, bro, I don't know. It just happened so quick.
Yeah.
But one thing I do love about this film though is you know, you're so caught up in what's happening. Like you're like I never checked my phone at all. I was just sitting there enjoying the film, dude, because it was just one thing to the next. That I feel like, and I feel like everybody in the theater was the same way. Dude, when this is crazy, but when I was in the theater both times, I only saw 1 to 2 people get up and use the restroom. Like, everybody was into that movie like I've never seen before. So you could have added on another 20, 30 minutes, and people would have been so engaged with this film, it wouldn't have mattered. You know, even the parents, you know, dude, there's parents that were laughing more than the kids, you know, that were freaking out when, you know, Tanuki Mario came on screen, or, you know, these little Easter eggs of Yoshi Island and Luigi's Mansion and stuff like that. Like, dude, the parents were enjoying that crap because that's what they grew up with. So I wish they would have gave us a little bit more, but obviously they're wanting to make a whole universe out of this, and they're going to do some crazy stuff. So I'm absolutely just totally hyped for that. But yeah, no, I'm with you on the should have been longer thing for sure. And then, you know, Cranky Kong and Donkey Kong, the voice actors for those weren't the best. Donkey in particular, like, it didn't really bother me the first time, but the second time I watched it, oh, wait a second.
Oh,
Zoom. There we go. Sorry. The second time I watched it though, like I just saw Seth Rogen. Like I see Seth Rogen's face in Donkey Kong in a way as well. Like I was like, it was really strange. Kind of took me out of it a little bit. And Donkey Kong, bro, I hate Donkey and like but I love the
well,
character too.
I was gonna tag on that like a tiny bit because it's nothing that super bothered me because it's a lot of animation movies, but like I definitely feel like a few of them could have went the extra mile to change their voice a little bit more. Like you could kind of tell everybody was everybody. Like I could have named every voice actor just by hearing their voice
Except
in
for
the
Jack
movie.
Black. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I actually heard Jack Black a lot when he was talking, but that's just
Really?
because like I listen to like I had a Tenacious D phase, not like a crazy one.
Oh,
Like I
okay. I
used to
remember
listen to him
saying yeah.
sing and stuff. Like yeah, in theater. I
No,
would always maybe it came up like peaches, peaches,
no,
peaches.
yeah, yeah. No. When
You know what
he
I mean?
sung, I heard Jack Black
Yeah,
100%. But when he was just like talking and stuff, I thought it was.
yeah,
Thought it was
no,
great.
yeah.
But that's the risk you take when you like when I do if I was a big studio doing an animation movie like this and I think now they're gonna take this route, but and I understand why they did such a big cast,
Mhm.
but you always
Bring
take a
all that hype.
risk. Right, and you always take a risk when you do something like that. And whether it's a biopic or whatever it is, the audience is not going to see that character as that character. They're going to see that actor playing that character. We talked
Yeah,
about Austin Butler. If they would have done Miles Teller, people would have just seen Miles Teller as Elvis. They wouldn't have seen Elvis like how they saw Austin Butler as Elvis. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And stuff like that. The new Bob Ross thing, the new Paint. It's called Paint with
With Owen
Owen
Wilson.
Wilson. You don't see Bob
Owen
Ross. You
Wilson.
see Owen Wilson. Wow. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Wow.
And when you watch this movie, you see a lot of these different characters, and you don't even see these characters as characters sometimes. Sometimes you see them as the actors playing them, and that's the big problem. But the good news is now you have the opportunity with all this big universe you can do. Whether that's Zelda or Yoshi's Island or Luigi's
Kirby.
Mansion, Kirby. Whatever the little fox guy, I
We were
forgot
in
his name,
sync
but
Super Smash Bros. Video game.
yeah,
'Cause they have a
man.
story from I think it was Brawl.
Yeah, yeah, you could go crazy with it, bro, if you really wanted to.
Mhm.
And when you do that, just don't make these voice actors big voice actors. Don't make them these big Hollywood actors. Just because
Yeah.
then there'll be more substance to it, and you can get
I mean,
more
if they
engaged
fit
in
the
it.
part, sure, but like, don't just hand
Yeah.
out parts to people.
Right,
100%.
right, just because their name. Which we're not saying that's what happened here. I think most of these guys, like I said, did
No,
a
yeah.
very, very good job. But
Toad was one of my favorite voice actors. I don't
yeah,
know why I told
dude.
you that.
Okay, I thought that was like a voice thing that he did. They like raised his voice, but that's actually how high he can get. Did you know that?
I thought that was him doing
Dog,
that. Yeah, I could
dog.
just see him in the back, like, "Hi, I'm Toad."
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. I'm sure they did like a little bit to it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Keegan Michael Key who plays Toad, and he literally could get his voice up to that point, which is just stupid because his voice is naturally pretty
That's
deep.
so funny. That
Yeah,
is
it's
so
crazy,
funny.
dude. He's
He
one
is
of the most
amazing.
underappreciated actors I think of our time. I mean, he's unreal. Like he's
You ever see
hilarious.
his Obama skit?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Peel and Key and Peel, dude, bro. I can watch those for hours. So good, so good. And even like I don't know, those characters. I mean, go from freaking even like just go with it. You know what I mean? To the, like his range is unreal. But yeah, overall though, I like the voice acting, but Cranky Kong needed to be a little bit more of a deeper voice. That kind of threw me off. Second time I watched it as well.
He just he's supposed to be the king, and he kind of felt
like the king's brother.
"Hey man, get in here!"
Yeah, you know what I
like
mean. He's a
like
king's
the king
brother.
died, and he took over years ago, and now
Mhm.
just. I mean, it makes sense to what the Kongs are, I guess.
Yeah, but
I
in the
get what you're saying.
games though, Cranky, he was always a little more angry. You know what I mean? A little bit
Yeah,
more like, I don't know, and that kind of goes to Donkey Kong as well. Like, he fit the voice for the character well, but Donkey is, I don't know, he kind of made him a joke in a way. You know what I mean? I wasn't too big on that.
yeah.
And then the next con, this was just kind of a nitpick. This isn't too bad, just the potential wise. I really, really wish the final battle would have taken place in Bowser's Castle. I know they did it for the main storyline with the dad and them saving Brooklyn. Once again, that was in the beginning of the film. It's like this whole, thing they wanted to
We
wrap
even
up.
started it in Bowser's Castle, and
Yeah.
then gatewayed it
I don't think we ever even went in, or no, we did go into Bowser's Castle a little bit, but there was never like, the final battle in all the games always took place in Bowser's Castle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the final level in the worlds. Like, why not give
Mhm.
us that? I don't know.
No,
That just felt very off.
and the gateway, like that was kind of my, because we kind of have like the same, like I don't know if that was your last con. This is my last
Yeah.
con. It was just not. It's a completely different story than any of the games, and in a way, I'm glad they didn't copy that, but they could have still stayed a little bit more true to what a Mario game is. You know what I mean? Like introducing the whole Brooklyn thing, and like you said, like the potential of having the fight in in Bowser's Castle, and like I said, we were talking about bringing more games in or bring other characters in. I know that's what the idea of a bigger universe, but I was almost sitting there thinking, I'm like, why is Mario the noob in this movie? Like, you know what I mean? Mario's the savior. Why does he not have a single clue what's going on? Which is, like I said, it wasn't watching it. I liked the story, but in a potential, when I think about things, I'm like, yeah, it would have been cool. Like Mario showed up and he was a stud, but he
Yeah.
turns into one, so it is okay. So it's like a
Yeah.
half and a half. But I thought they could have stayed a little bit more true to what a Mario game is, but
Mm-hmm. Well, and that kind of, we can kind of go into our pros now with that.
yeah.
Uh, oh, also another thing that kind of bothered me, the '80s rock music or the '80s music
Dude, I'm
throughout.
not gonna lie, I love the soundtrack.
It was cool, and I understand why it was there, but at the same time, like it didn't feel very Mario. Like I know why they did it, because it was in the '80s. That's what that's that
Dude, the
generation.
hero
You know what I
scene
mean?
was, dude, you can't tell me that was not it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's just like it's a lot of overused songs as well. You know what I mean? Like a
It is.
typical like Illumination soundtrack for one of
But
the movies.
yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
they did it just it's the same thing with the cast, man. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
just did it
No,
because
I
we're
know
trying
why. I get it, but
to.
like watching it as well, it's kind of like it was weird. You know what I mean? It kind of
Yeah.
threw me off a little bit. But that's not really. It didn't like take me out of the movie.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I was the same way with the story. The first time I watched it, I hated the story. I thought I wanted the typical, Mario and Luigi getting together and saving Peach. You know what I mean? Or something that was more, to the actual first, Mario game. But we
It would
didn't
have been
get
a
that.
hard to create a story like
Um,
that, I feel like.
possibly for sure.
Harder.
But like it's more of the right. But it's definitely more of like the potential. That's what me and Brayden were talking about walking out of the
Mhm.
theater. I was like, bro, the potential for this to be a perfect, not a perfect replica, but like a perfect Mario movie was there, and they just decided to take a different route. Which, hey, that's cool, man. You know what I mean? I respect it. And then the second time I watched it, I love the story. I love the story so much. I think it's actually perfect. But the first
Mhm.
time I was kind of off. Second time I watched it, I was like, bro, yeah, this is a movie that I'm gonna watch so much, bro. I
I
mean,
know,
like,
right?
this is a movie
I'm
I might
buying
even
on
just put on.
DVD,
Yeah,
baby.
oh, 100%. I mean, this is a film that I'm gonna watch a lot. And I'm gonna watch it already again, and I've seen it twice. So,
Yeah.
I love the story so much, and I've really grown to appreciate it a lot more. And yeah, so story is definitely one of my biggest pros, man. I thought they did a really good job with that, and stayed true to the characters though, but also kind of, gave way to a lot of creativity for the directors and the voice actors and stuff. So overall, really enjoyed the story and the direction, and how open it was for them to take on different worlds now, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, no, I love the story overall. I'm just gonna go to one of my next pros, and I'll let you go. The voice acting, kind of dove into that a little bit. Thought it was great. People
Mhm.
hating on Chris Pratt and the trailers, man, they are really eating their own
Yeah,
words
shut
now.
up.
Yeah, get out of here with that. Chris Pratt did amazing. I thought he was perfect, and that's the thing. Mario was never someone who spoke a lot. So if you got the OG Mario actor doing that voice throughout the entire film, you'd probably want to kill yourself.
Mhm.
Not, and I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying like, sit here and woohoo and mamma mia, like, throughout an entire film, an hour and
He's like,
20,
"Hey, it's
30
a princess
minutes.
Peach. What are we gonna do
Yes.
with the Bowser?"
No, no,
You
no,
can't
no, no,
stay
no.
engaged.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You get taken out of it. And I thought Chris Pratt did a great job of bringing a humanity to the character, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And yeah, his accent was off. You know what I mean? It was pretty inconsistent, but it's not like, it doesn't take you out of the film. And to be honest, I thought he did a great job with it. So So yeah, I really enjoyed the voice acting overall. I thought, oh my god, Charlie Day was incredible as Luigi.
Did a great job.
It literally is just Charlie Day, but
Uh-huh.
there's just something to it, bro. Like, and I know everybody's talking about it. That's not like a unique opinion, but I thought number one, I love Charlie Day. I've always really loved him as an actor. I think he's hilarious, and I think he's a great dude as well. Love it. Watch his interviews, bro. He's so funny. But I want a Luigi's Mansion movie now. Bring it to me. Give it to me, please.
Give me Luigi's Mansion.
Give it to me, man. And yeah, I thought everybody else. I mean, I thought Anna Taylor-Joy did great as Peach. Jack Black killed it. Peaches, 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 peaches. And yeah, everybody did this. Keegan-Michael Key was awesome as Toad, even though I hate Toad. I'm definitely more of a Yoshi guy. But overall, really enjoyed the voice acting and had a really good time with it.
And that's the thing, because like, in my cons, I was saying they could have went a little bit more, but this is the problem. Like, this is the pro of their voice acting was great because they picked the perfect people to play them. Like, they all like literally sounded just like themselves with a little enhancement. Like, nobody completely altered their voice completely, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They all just were their voices with like Bowser was just like this, like, you know what I mean. But his voice was still probably might be my favorite. It was him, Toad, or Luigi. Those were my three favorites. Yeah. And then I put Mario right there under them. Not that it was any bad, but those voices, like those guys that had me feeling like, oh my God, that is them. Like, I'm just watching Toad. That is not.
You know who I really enjoyed was Peach. Like, a lot of people are saying that voice was kind of mid, actually. People were saying it wasn't great. I loved it. I thought Anna Taylor-Joy did a phenomenal job.
That was the
like,
perfect Peach.
She had that charm, you know what I mean, to her. You know what I mean? So I understand Bowser, man.
That pure.
Also, dude, I'm just saying the motorcycle scene.
The motorcycle scene. If you have seen this movie, everybody I've talked to that's seen this movie knows. Everybody went in the theater.
Yeah,
bro. Me and Logan went, huh?
Dude, we started flipping out.
I couldn't believe it, dude. Like,
dude, the camera just kept panning down. Movie. It's a kids movie, but they showed the that Peaches,
and just to finish off, the voices were amazing. But because we're on it, let's gateway. Another pro is the cinematography, man. Like, as crazy as that is to say in an animated movie, like, I felt like this was a masterpiece. Like, we had the best cinematographers literally on a motorcycle riding next to Mario while they were on the carts. Like,
they had
was
Steven
perfect.
Spielberg, Martin, right? Everybody was there, dog. No, it was gorgeous. I mean, dude, just the shots. I thought the motorcycle sequence was great.
The shots,
right? Like, the Mushroom Kingdom is one of the most beautiful settings I've ever seen in any animated movie ever. Yeah. Like, I mean, just the wide shot when he first gets there, to the shot when him and Peach are looking out into the the sunset, bro. And
they're sitting there together.
It's beautiful, dude. I mean,
I love that scene when he was like,
"It is.
Did it make you feel better?" Well, it made me feel a little bit better.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, dude. And yeah, the cinematography is definitely on my pros. I mean, and I even looked to Brayden in some of the shots, and I was like, bro, that's a beautiful shot. Like, it was, and I don't ever do that.
This movie came out a few months ago. It beats Pinocchio. I'm telling you right
now.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
bro.
Smashing Pinocchio out of the water.
If this doesn't win an Oscar for Best Animated Movie, I give up. I mean, that's serious, dude. I give up. And I don't think it's going to, because critics hate it, which here, Brayden, I'll let you kind of keep talking. I'm going to look up the critics rating right now. It is actually a joke. It is actually a joke.
But when you guys come watch this movie, from just how the characters look to even things like, I love the Mario Kart scene where they're customizing their own cars. They literally have it like the video game. It changes from scene to scene where you're seeing the different parts and the paint splatter. And then you're riding in the Koopa Village, and you're on the track, and you see the beach water, you see the fish jumping, the sun shining. Like, it's crazy. It literally looks like an Unreal Engine, like 4K driven. It doesn't even look fake. It looks like really, really. Looks like Murder Mystery Party too.
So
they CGI, man. It does.
Yo, no. So right here, 96% audience score for the film, 56% on the tomato meter for critics. for this movie,
What?
which is why you never listen to critics, man. Don't ever listen to critics.
Yeah.
Always listen to the audience. And yeah, and that kind of goes into we'll go into the animation from there. The animation's beautiful. I mean, the
Perfect.
animation is perfect, dude. Illumination was the perfect company for this. I thought they killed it. I thought it was beautiful. They also, didn't pull what Sonic did at first and do something crazy. Like the characters look like the
That's so
characters.
true.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it literally looked like and what's really cool is they took the Mario and Luigi, put them in there, and then they created the real world around them, if that makes sense. So they're on
Dude.
Earth, and the humans kind of had a Mario feel to them, and it was a great job, dude. I mean, and also, dude, the details when like Mario falls, his overall thing will be falling over. He puts it on, or he might do this real quick. His mustache, it might like stuff like that. The really specific stuff I love,
That was
and the
super
attention to
dope. Yeah.
detail was awesome.
No, and I was gonna say, I just thought of it, dude. Like Jim Carrey in a Mario movie when Sonic and Mario cross over, that would be nasty. But
Yeah,
not that was off topic. But yeah, dude, I love the character models. I think everybody fit perfectly, and like you were saying, like I love when they were adjusting themselves, or like even when the camera turned off at the end, he was looking in the mirror, or like in like the TV screen, then he just like fixes his hat, he like
yeah,
wipes his nose, fixes his mustache, and gets right up. And I was like, dude, that's legendary.
yeah.
And like you said, only, and I bet you saw it a lot more when you went back the second time. But you have to be really precise and be really like engaged to see those small things. And yeah, man, I noticed that a lot with actually Donkey Kong too. They had him do a lot of stuff with this thing flying, or when he was like constantly climbing around. It was cool to see every individual foot or like or toe or finger
Yeah.
like move and grab. It was super cool.
No, they put a lot of attention to detail for sure. They've been working on this movie for like 3 years now, and you can
Yeah,
see it. I mean, it's beautiful, dude.
can't get 20 more fucking minutes.
That's what
I've
I'm
been
saying,
working on
man.
it for
Just
three goddamn years. I
give us
can't get
something,
20
man.
minutes.
Give us something. And then I guess my next thing is they kept true to most characters. We already kind of dove into that. The nostalgia overall was incredible. I mean, everything
Yeah.
from just what and you mentioned this, Brayden. You wanted more of like the actual like course stuff of them jumping on the course. We talked about when
Yeah.
Mario and Peach are kind of like learning the course stuff.
The
You
flagpole.
like that? Yeah, the flagpole stuff. The actual like Super Mario Bros. Course.
Yeah.
You wanted a little bit more of that, and I'm with you. Dude, oh my god, one of my favorite parts of the entire film was at the end when Donkey Kong and Mario are like side by side going through the things, jumping on the Goombas. You know what I'm talking about? They're
Yeah.
at the end where they're like doing it at the same time.
That was
One of
so
the best,
nostalgic.
bro, dude. It
Were you
was
just like following
awesome.
Mario? Yeah, that was so
It was like you're
dope.
playing the game. Like
Yeah.
it was executed so well, man, and it was beautiful. And then you have the Mario Kart stuff. You know what I mean? I play Mario Kart on Mario Mondays. I'm gonna play it tonight on stream. And you see like these little the actual maps from Mario Kart 8, and then the anti gravity thing, the little wheels that turn and they're like hovering. That's from Mario Kart 8. That's really
Yeah.
recent. So it's so cool to see those little things, man. Or it might have been Mario Kart 7. I think it was Mario Kart 8 though. But it was executed so well, man, and there's so many points throughout this movie where I was just freaking out, and me and Brayden both. I mean, we were just grabbing each other,
Constantly
shaking, like, oh
looking,
my
yeah,
god,
constantly
you
just
know what I
like,
mean?
oh
It
my
was,
god, oh my god,
dude. And then the blue shell thing, bro. The way that they
Dude,
did the blue shell was perfect.
that was one of the coolest things in the entire movie, hands down. Because I even looked at you and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like we were like, dude, they did it different. That's really dope.
Hmm.
And then they also made it the nostalgic way, and I was like, that's even doper. Take
Yeah,
more of my money. Take all of my
that's
money.
what I'm saying,
And I
man.
just love that. You can't escape the blue shell.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, and then we'll kind of go into the soundtrack, like the score, not the soundtrack, but the actual score of the film.
Mhm.
The music, bro, was so good. I mean, like just the blue shell, the sounds of the
Oh,
blue shell was
dude.
perfect.
One of
The
my
dun dun
favorite.
dun 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 dun. Oh,
I was
bro.
gonna say because they incorporated it in such a way when Bowser was like, "Come join me on the piano." Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Ding, ding.
It was, dude,
Oh,
I
bro.
thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Because they're
No,
just
everybody
chatting
loved
and
it.
having a meeting, but they're playing the score in the background
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
the characters. I was like, that is so dope, dude.
Yep. Yeah, I think the one thing we were missing was remember the pop, the thing that you would click and then like the oh my god, like the so it'd be like it'd go dun-dun-dun, pop, dun-dun-dun. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it was
Mm.
like a little power thing. You jump on it. It's like a little button almost in the games. And you
Oh,
know, you have the little
yeah.
pop thing. That's the one thing that
Yes.
they didn't incorporate, which is really interesting because it's kind of like a pretty big part. And they could have easily done that. You know what I mean? They can't get through a wall. They jump on the little pop thing, and then it's like it's coins, and you go through it. Like they could have did something like
I know
that.
exactly what
You
you're
know
talking
you know what I mean? Yeah, I like described that in probably the worst possible way, but yeah, like they could have definitely incorporated a little bit more of that. But the score was beautiful, dude, and like, and just like the classic Mario theme. I mean,
Oh, dude.
like it was. Oh, dude, I don't even know how to describe it. It was perfect. I don't know the guy who did the score. I should have wrote
But
his
killed
name
it.
down. Unreal. I mean,
Killed it, though.
one of the
Yeah.
best scores I've heard in a minute.
Yeah, man.
So good
No,
stuff there.
it was
I'll
so
let
fire.
you dive into another one of your pros, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much left. I think I got one more, and that's really just illumination in general. They smashed it out of the water. Like it's not really it's not a specific one, but it kind of just is basically like my overview of everything. I really enjoyed the characters from this movie. I really enjoyed everything that they brought to it. And the biggest thing is they didn't push anything onto us as an audience. You know what I mean? I
Mm-mm.
didn't feel like I had to learn something new about Mario or maybe the Brooklyn thing, but that's kind of like that's already
Just a
backstory we already
backstory.
knew about. They
Yeah.
just never touched on it because it's a video game. But I didn't feel forced to learn a new concept, or I didn't feel like I was forced with Chris Pratt's voice down my throat. They just
Yeah.
every piece of the puzzle fit perfectly, and this is just like one of those puzzles where you put the last piece and you stand up, you look at it, and you're like, "Damn, I did that." And
Yep.
yeah, it's just gonna be a movie I go back and see over and over again. I would keep saying pros all day, you know what I mean? I have so many just because I really like this movie. I looked at you in the moment, I was like, this is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. I have
Yeah.
like nothing bad to say. And for me, I guess my last pro would be I do love the soundtrack. I really like the 80s theme for some reason. I was just like, it is because they are so overplayed and iconic, but that's why I liked them because every scene they picked like the perfect song for it.
Yeah.
Even when Blue Sky came on, I was so shocked. I was like, bro, there's no way that they use this song. But I was so hype in the theater. So yeah, man. But yeah, I guess that's my last pro. I really like the soundtrack. I don't know why. I was just vibing. Those are
Yeah.
some
No,
of my
I
favorite
feel it.
songs.
I feel it. Yeah. So it's weird, man. When I first, I will get to that in a little bit. How I feel about the film. But I got two more pros I want to talk about.
Yeah.
My biggest worry going into this film, and me and Brayden talked about this a lot. I was scared about the kid humor. Like humor in
Mm.
kids movies
Dude,
nowadays are
I meant
so
to tap on that too. I
slapstick.
thought we already talked about it. I had
No,
that thought earlier in my head. It was so meta.
yeah, I'm really not big on that. Like SpongeBob, for example. Go watch a classic SpongeBob episode from 1999 when it first came out, 1998 around there, and then watch a new SpongeBob episode. You're like, what is this, bro? What are we
Yeah,
doing?
totally different.
You know what I mean? The humor's changed so much in a negative way, and maybe not in a negative way because our humor is different from our parents' humor, and our parents' humor is different from their grandparents' humor. So like it just it changes from generation to generation.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. I mean, there was moments where I'm like, okay, that's for the kids. But like overall, I didn't feel
They
any
gave us
way
that
now.
motorcycle scene for a reason, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They knew we needed that. But yeah, it wasn't too bad, and throughout the film, I really enjoyed myself. Now, I wish this movie was a little bit more serious. Like, go back and watch the teaser trailer for this movie. It looks like this is a serious threat.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and then it's a kids movie. Like, don't give us a serious trailer if it's going to be a kids movie. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when
Yeah.
when studios do that because the reason they wanted to do that was to bring in the adult audience with it. So I was hoping for maybe a little bit more of a serious plot and some serious stuff. And we didn't get too much of that. But overall, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. Had a really good time with the humor, and a lot of it did hit. And I was laughing throughout for sure.
It was very meta. Like, you know what I mean? It was very aware of itself, and it was still Mario. Like the humor was still Mario related, but it
Yeah.
was I feel like any age group from like 4 to 40, everybody was laughing. Like
Mhm.
we heard multiple people laughing throughout the theater multiple times.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I had a really good time with that. Before we get to my last pro, because it kind of leads into like a whole nother segment in a way.
Mm.
Um, I just want to give props to Donkey Kong Country. Such a good game,
Oh,
and that's my favorite part of the entire film because it literally sets
when
up
they brought that
the
track in.
yes, it sets
Yeah,
up
man.
the what the rest of the movie's gonna be.
Yeah.
When they show up, Toad, Princess Peach, and Mario, and they show up to Donkey Kong Country, into tropical, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And they go there, and the guy answers the door, and they hop on the track, and then do it's kind of like almost like a little tease for what's to come with the Mario Kart stuff. And they
Yeah.
go through the track. It reminded me so much of something. Is it Wilderness Woods or something like that? It's a track from
Willow Woods or something like that.
no, Wilder. I don't know. We sound
I know
stupid,
which
but
one you're talking
yeah,
about,
from
man.
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Bro, it's 100% of what they were going for because it's like the same exact track, the wood planks. Like, I felt like I was watching Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, bro, and it was just
Mm.
so cool. So I had a really, really good time with that. And so I just got to give props to that, man. I thought Donkey Kong Country was one
Oh,
of the
yeah, I
coolest
remember you looked
settings.
over at me. You were so hyped. You were like,
Yeah, dude.
"Yo,
Yeah,
I love
bro.
this part of Mario Kart."
Yes, I was enjoying that so much, man. And then when he jumps off and he's going down and he does a little parachute thing, the glider and
Yes.
goes in.
They're
Yo,
like, "Ah." Ah."
yeah, bro, so
I was like, "Dude,
clean,
this is perfect." That's
dude.
when in the movie I sat back and I was like, "This is perfect."
Yeah, no, I heard Brayden go, "Oh my god."
Yeah, dude, I loved
It
it
was
so much.
great. So that's my last big pro, and then kind of get to this. I guess my last pro here, but this movie set up a whole universe, and
Yeah.
you can do Luigi's Mansion now, like I said, which would be awesome. Give it to me,
Mario
please.
Galaxy, they hinted to.
Mario Galaxy, Mario
Waiting.
3D World. You could do Yoshi's Island. You could even dive into the Shy Guys, dive into the Koopa. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude, and
World.
that's another thing because it is along with your pro. They introduced so many characters in this movie. There's so
Yes.
many side characters and Easter egg characters that like are maybe only in one game. At like the wedding and stuff, that was a super cool scene. We
Oh,
got to see
King
all of
Boo, the
yeah,
bomb.
yeah, Big Mom, yeah. That was crazy. So like they definitely could go deeper now with all introducing all these characters and making it known in the world.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. One more thing I was gonna get to say as well. Oh, dang, I kind of forgot. Um,
That's why.
but no, like even like no, you're okay. Even like Zelda. You know what I mean? Like there's so many
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
Nintendo properties that they can dive into now. Make a whole universe out of this, dude. I'd even do like a Mario Kart, like a Cars type of story. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
just I would do.
I would say
I'll
Mario
be.
Party.
Mario Party, yeah, you mentioned Mario Party. Do Mario Party, man. Do a bunch of different things with this. And obviously, the way that the direction they're going to go now is with Yoshi for sure. I
Yeah,
don't really like Yoshi being in Brooklyn, though. Not too big on that. Bring
really.
him. Yeah, well, remember when it shows the egg at the end? I think it's in the Brooklyn sewer where they first went in, I think. I don't like that. Get him out of Brooklyn, put him in I want to explore Yoshi's Island. I want I want Mario to kind of ride Yoshi like a horse, like in the games and stuff. You know what I mean? Give us something like that. In those in the actual Mushroom Kingdom, whatever it is, in those worlds. Get
But
out of
don't
get out of the real world
they end up
stuff.
living in the Mushroom Kingdom and stuff in the end,
Yes,
right? Or
they do.
they yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool, cool.
but Yoshi, his egg, I think, is in because remember when everything kind of came into the real world,
I was gonna
Yoshi's
say yeah,
egg is
'cause
in
of the
Brooklyn. I don't
wedding.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not too
Hopefully they
big
took
about
it
that.
back, bro.
Hopefully,
Hopefully they
man.
yanked that boy.
Yeah, but that Yoshi at the end, bro, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god. So you know I'm a big Yoshi fan. Look at this, bro. I'm a big Yoshi guy. So I'm absolutely hype. I know that's the direction they're gonna go with it, and with how much money this movie freaking made, they're okay. They're okay. They're
They're
definitely gonna do
okay.
some more. But yeah, is that it for your pros, man?
Dude, that's it for me, man. I think so.
All right, all right. So yeah, I'm just gonna say how much the movie made before we do our final ranking, man.
Yeah.
This movie, its first weekend, this is
Dude, when I
stupid.
sent you this, bro, I was
Yeah,
so
they
surprised.
said that they would be disappointed if they didn't reach $100 million, and they reached it and exceeded it. I think by a little bit. It made $204.6 million
Hmm.
domestically, and made $377.6 million
And that's only gone up
worldwide.
since.
Yep. Yep.
since
Unreal. I mean
unreal.
I
Biggest
think
oh,
that's the
you saw biggest opening for an animated movie
Yep, yep, and
ever.
Illumination's biggest, and it's crazy stuff, dude. I mean, they made back their budget and already like $100 million on top of
You know
that.
Chris Pratt's in there
Um,
like
yeah, he's chilling. My
just
boy's
chilling,
chilling.
dog. You took a scene.
Um, just unreal, man. I mean, I'm so happy this movie's doing well. I've never seen movie theaters packed like that for a movie,
I know,
which is
right? It's
crazy. I
been a
mean,
while. It's been
yes,
like since
for
like Star Wars or like Marvel movies type
right.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm even like the movie
They had
theater
the
that we
van
go
out
into.
front.
We had people sitting in our seat. You know what I mean? At the City Walk, and
Yeah.
you have the van out front and stuff. I mean, we go the City Walk one that we go to the theater most of the time. It's usually never busy. There's probably maybe like what 10 other people in there,
Yeah.
and because we go at like like at not a busy time, but I was about
At
to say
not
our
a
time.
busy
That would have been
time.
weird. But no, we don't go at a busy time at all.
Yo,
Yeah,
yo,
people are
that
gonna
is
show
so
up.
smart. Yo, we show up. There's like 20 people waiting there.
Yeah. What's up, hey guys? But we don't go at a busy time, and so it's never busy. But dude, it was slammed. Like there was so many. There
Oh,
was so
dead.
many rows of people, bro. People were sitting in our seats, dog. And
They're a busy
but
time.
they had kids and stuff. I think I was like, whatever. But no, it was crazy, dude. I mean, it was absolutely slammed. And even when I went to the our local theater here, dude, there wasn't like I think it was sold out.
Yeah.
There was not an
Wow.
empty seat. I've never
Wow.
seen that theater sold out before. So it was just unreal, man. I mean, there was a line out front. Like
Mhm.
it was creepy. People were trying to buy tickets, man. People were asking how much like they could sell them for. I was like, bro, there's like another showing in like 3 hours. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
But no, dude, it was
Go get
crazy.
dinner.
Yeah,
Come
yeah, just
back.
go hang out. Crazy stuff, man. So I'm so glad the movie's doing well, which
Heck
once
yeah.
once again means we're gonna get a Yoshi movie
I
and
was
all
about
that
to say,
stuff,
now you
bro.
know we're for sure getting
Oh
more.
yeah, I'm absolutely hyped, man. But yeah, it's time to do our rating, bro. I want to kind of say this too before we dive into this. When I first watched this movie, I liked it. Brayden liked it a lot more, but I wasn't. I was big on it. It was definitely probably like in the nines. But then I watched it again. No, but then after like another day, after I went to sleep, I was like, bro, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And then I went and watched it again on Saturday, and it kind of went down a little bit for me. But I still appreciate it for what it was. Braden's score is gonna be a lot higher than mine. But Braden, I'll let you I guess I'll go first because you went first last time. I know Braden's gonna be I'll do my prediction after. But for me personally, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. My rating has gone up and down all around. We're not gonna be the same, by the way. I would probably give this movie probably a solid like. I'll probably go like a 9.4. This is a movie that I love so much. 2 days ago, this movie was probably a 9.9. But this movie is definitely a 9.4 for me. I love it. Like I said, if you get past the first 10 minutes of this movie, which is not too hard to do, you'll fall in love with it. I mean, the score, the animation, the story, the cinematography, all that stuff that we talked about, the nostalgia, the sequences, you'll fall in love with it. Had a great time with it. And yeah, give it a 9.4, man. Really enjoyed it. This is just such a good film, dude. I mean, it was everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah, man. I'm really not that far. Honestly, earlier today, or no, after I watched it, I had it at like a 9.3, and it's weird when movies settle in for me, I put them higher. Like it's probably a 9.5. It's not very much higher. Like we were right around the same thing. I was like,
Okay.
I don't know if you saw my face and went,
I thought you were going to be a 9.8.
no, no, dude. No,
I'm thinking
actually,
of what
I had it lower. I had it lower
That's
like
interesting.
like yesterday, 2 days
Mhm.
ago. But now that and this is every time we talk about it, and then I start rethinking about it even more. But yeah, it's got to be like a
Well,
9.5.
and think too about this movie, like it's an animation movie, and it's like it's a
Yeah.
stupid comedy movie. Like overall, this movie probably is like a 7.8, 7.9.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but every time I watch, dude, I've seen this movie 2 times. Every single time that Mario Kart scene comes on, that alone makes this
Well,
movie an 8 out of 10.
and that's my thing, man. There's not a lot of animated movies where I've gotten the way I did when I was watching that film. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I even said this to you. I was like, things like Shrek, things like Despicable Me. They pick big casts on purpose because they're gonna deliver. They deliver. It's a good movie. They make a franchise. Like
Yeah.
it's exactly what they did. They knew they were gonna make a good movie with this, and they did such a good job. They picked the perfect people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just so nostalgic. They literally pulled at our little heartstrings. You know, when you play Mario Monday and you go see the movie, it's like, holy shit, dude! I was just playing this like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
it's crazy. It's really awesome. But they knew exactly what they're doing. And on a scale of animated movies, like would I say maybe like Zootopia or like Moana, like they have a better thought out story, maybe.
100%. Yeah. No, I
But
agree with that.
but I love the animation of this movie. I love the feel the nostalgia. Like I probably watch this movie over those. Not that they're any. I don't even think that they're worse. This movie is my thing. You know what I
And you
mean?
love Zootopia.
And I love Zootopia,
Yeah.
man. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for Zootopia too. I heard that it's coming. Give it to me, bro.
It's one of those things that it's like it's never gonna come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's one of
dude.
those
They
things.
keep
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah. Story and Moana and all those films and Princess and the Frog and all that. 10 times better. 10 times better. But the nostalgia
I almost
alone.
put this film higher just because I love it so
The
much.
nostalgia alone. They knew what they were doing, dog. They knew what they were
Yeah.
doing, bro. It's like it's candy for us. You know what I mean? But yeah. There you go. That's going to be our review on Super Mario Bros. The movie 2023, man. You guys let us know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Even if you're watching on Spotify, you can still drop a comment, so go ahead and do that.
If you don't give this movie a 9, you're crazy. No,
You're unreal. Yeah, you're insane.
You're real, bro.
So yeah, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, man, or no, this will be on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. Give this video a like. Comment down below your thoughts on the film, man. What do you guys think about it? Subscribe if you're new for more reviews like this. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate
Yes, sir.
y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.